Hello, hello. Yes, I'm the computer master, and I figured out how to get my stream working with no lag. It's not like I've been doing this for 4 years or anything, and I should know how to do it by now. No, 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 no. Folks, this is special. I'm the ultimate stream setup master. I've never had a laggy stream in my day. Not a once. Not a singular once. Um, in all seriousness, I think we should be good. It's a very different tone from my previous cockiness, but I think we're good. I think we're fine. Let me know. Are we good? 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 Okay. Oh my gosh! Look at Freddy's feet. Hold on. Are we good? I think we're good. One in the chat if 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 we're back. One in the chat if we're good. Hey, there's the ones that roll in. Look how smart I am. What did you just put in chat, Mr. Twister? Okay. In all seriousness, we have talked about it. I think we're ready. We've got a stream to cover, or we've got an event to cover, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So, again, let's go ahead and get right into it. Currently, we do have an ongoing tornado warning storm northwest of Abilene, Texas. If you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Freddie and SRM are on this one. This is a tornado warning again going out for the northwest side of Abilene as well as Roby and surrounding areas here in Texas. So if you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately just west of Hawley. We also have our Derecho event starting to take shape with multiple smaller supercells and baby MCSs develop and kind of congeal into one again. This is getting off to a very slow start, I will say, because storms aren't congealing into an entirely linear mode. But that is also enhancing our tornado threat to a certain extent. So we do have a tornado warning in effect as well for Ardmore, Oklahoma, although I don't see an immediate threat for a tornado with this. This supercell originally likely had some rotation northwest of Lone Grove, but it looks like the inflow has been kind of choked off there, if it ever even had any, as this moved into the Ardmore area. But make sure that you are staying in your safe spot just in case. I do want to quickly note that we have had a couple of significant, and I mean very significant, wind gust reports out of this event already, guys, which is, again, it was concerning, and it was very concerning at a point, but it's not nearly, it's not shaping up to be nearly as big of an event as we originally thought, just due to the fact that these storms aren't congealing into one big line, which, again, sure, that can still promote a somewhat significant damaging wind threat, but it's going to do better if it's able to congeal into a line and create a widespread swath of damaging wind gusts. But again, we did have a significant supercell that not only produced DVD-sized hail, but also damaging wind gusts up to 90 miles an hour earlier near Antelope Flats, Texas. This was apparently a report of 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts here that was taken from a train spotter. Apparently there were mobile homes that were overturned. So, again, if you know anybody out there in that area, make sure you give them a call or text. At this point, a lot of these supercells, again, are mainly going to be a hail and a brief rotation threat. Again, the reason that we're not seeing too many of these storms rotate too impressively is just because of the fact that our SRH out here isn't great. If we had good SRH and the storm mode was a little bit more broken up than it is even now, then this would have actually been a pretty significant tornado event. But again, our SRH values, even within the first 3 kilometers of the atmosphere, only range at about 200 over the surrounding areas. And if you go down to the first kilometer, which typically in the first kilometer of the atmosphere, if you have over 150 to 200 SRH, you're good. Around the general vicinity, we're sitting at about 100 or less. So really not that impressive of a setup for a tornadic threat. And again, that's why we're never expecting too much of a tornado threat to begin with. The only reason it's slightly higher than we thought it would be is because these storms are staying briefly discrete. Now, I actually still do think that this storm has the potential to be a qualifying derecho if it gets its act together very quickly. Let's say it develops at the DFW Metroplex. A line of storms has to travel 400 miles with severe limit wind gusts the whole way through to be considered a derecho. It would have to travel all the way from DFW to New Orleans. Now, the HRRR has it just absolutely falling flat on its face by the time it enters northern Louisiana. And that is likely due, one, to the fact that we have a lot less instability that far east. In fact, that's the main reason, I'd say. If you take a look at our surface cape values, you'll notice that instead of the 5,000 and 6,000 that we're seeing in North Texas, in northern Louisiana, you're sitting at about 2,000 to 3,000. But that's not the only thing. You can still see, easily, you can see a derecho-like event with 3,000 cape. The other thing is our wind shear, guys. Within the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere in northern Louisiana, we are expecting to have less than 30 knots of wind shear in play. Now, this wouldn't be a huge deal, and again, obviously, it increases by the time the storms get over there, but the 30 knots of wind shear wouldn't be like a huge deal if it were in the first kilometer of the atmosphere, but no, this is the first 6. Taking a look at the first kilometer of the atmosphere, the part of the atmosphere where usually you want to have 40 knots or more of wind shear to have the development of severe thunderstorms and especially tornadoes, we're struggling to find anywhere that gets consistently over 30. So again, it's an event that is going to be entirely reliant on the storms getting their act together now and not later. And again, it's entirely possible that it does happen. We've seen, again, several destructive severe thunderstorms out here in this environment already today. We actually did just get a brand new severe thunderstorm warning going out for downtown Abilene, Texas. This is for damaging wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour and golf ball-sized hail. This includes Abilene, Hawley, Hodges, parts of I-20 in between Abilene and Sweetwater, Texas. This storm's not really rotating too impressively, so they're likely not going to extend the tornado warning, but it's still a very impressive supercell nonetheless for a damaging wind threat. Is the stream lagging again? Please tell me it's not. It shouldn't be. Let me know if it is. This is a live look at Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney. Again, this is from the Roby, Texas area. I suppose this isn't a live look. This is about 20 minutes ago. This is a live look from Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney from the Sweetwater, Texas area on this supercell right now as it enters the Abilene metro area. We're going to continue to watch this. We actually did just get a brand new tornado warning, and that's going to be going out for portions of Oklahoma. This is going out for Durant, Colbert, Calera, and Achille in Oklahoma. We've got some broad rotation with this supercell over Colbert. So if you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and in an interior room. This supercell is going to be crossing Highway 6975 with impressive rotation very shortly and riding Highway 91 over to the Achille region south of Durant. So again, if you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. Going back over to our Central Texas storm again, this is currently a destructive severe thunderstorm warning going out for the Abilene metro area. This is for damaging wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour and golf ball-sized hail. So if you are out here in this region, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, treat this like a tornado warning because the winds associated with this severe thunderstorm, just the straight-line winds, are going to be tornado force. Richard with the $5 dono. W. Richards in the chat. Thank you so much, Richard, for tuning in. Richard's been a goat lately. W's in the chat for Richard. Also, I noticed we had a $2.50 donation, I noticed, in between streams through PayPal. That's coming in from Lisa. So W. Lisa and W. Richard in the chat. Thank you guys so much. God bless. Have an amazing day. I appreciate your generosity. Again, donations are completely optional, but for the people that do go above and beyond and decide to donate, really appreciate you guys. So, again, thank you all so much. Again, I understand if you can't donate, liking and subscribing helps out just as much, just in a different way. So, anyway, a very significant supercell moving into the north side of the Abilene, Texas metro area. Oklahoma City gang storms had enough rain. Thank you for your hard work. No problem, dude. Yeah, Oklahoma City currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. However, as we said in our forecast video, or at least somebody commented on it, I remember responding, the main threat is staying just south of Oklahoma City. Main reason being is just a lack of both instability and wind shear out here in this environment. That's, I mean, really forecasting a derecho event in terms of where it's going to track is quite simple. Usually it's just, do you have shear? Do you have cape? Is there going to be a widespread storm mode? Is there going to be a cap in place? If you answer all those questions successfully, then, I mean, you've got yourself a pretty significant outcoming derecho event. Now, we did just get a brand new tornado warning going out for Caddo and Knific, Oklahoma. If you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building on the in an interior room and away from windows. This is a QLCS, embedded area of rotation. This is not like a discrete supercell with a hook echo and all that. This is something completely different. So, if you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter. I've got to say, they're issuing a lot of these tornado warnings very precautionarily, in my opinion. I think a lot of these storms are likely not going to end up producing any sort of tornado threat whatsoever. But it's better to be safe than sorry, especially in an environment where you've got 6,000 cape, and those storms actually can develop quite quickly, even with the limited SRH out here. So, this is a live look from Freddie McKinney. Again, we have gotten permission to use his feed for this stream. Very ominous skies out ahead here. Again, this is just east of Sweetwater, Texas. What's up, Evan? But yeah. Destructive severe thunderstorm warning going out for the Abilene metro area. Again, areas to the north, main area of concern right now is going to be around Hawley, Texas, unfortunately. If you're not aware, Hawley, Texas, impacted by a very violent EF4 tornado as of last year. Or, excuse me, an EF3 tornado. But we'll see what happens here. Again, still seeing this event struggle to turn into an entirely linear storm mode. I think this is going to be the thing that kills our event, guys. I really do. I think at least that's going to kill the full potential of it. I don't see a whole lot happening if these storms really don't congeal into one big line here very shortly. But we'll see. There's still a lot of time. Again, hail is going to be a major threat no matter the storm mode, as well as brief tornadoes potentially. Very localized. But the main thing that we were concerned about, damaging winds, may not even be that big of an issue if these thunderstorms can't get their act together here pretty soon. I know Vincent's live. Should we call the kid up? Should we call up Vincent? Everybody go into Vincent's chat and say Davis raid. And tell him that I want to call. Go to Mr. Storm. Go to his chat. And say Davis says weather raid and say, can you call? So somebody got here before I did. Camp got here before I did even. Storm Chaser 575. Let's see what he has to say.
Wins here. But they have, gone ahead to issue that tag. But very significant storm.
Bro's posture is cooked.
Here, currently moving
I'm sorry, bro.
Same thing to the north. We got a 60 mile per hour wind report or a 66 mile per hour wind report.
Like, mine's not great.
2 miles to the northwest of Haskell, Texas.
Man.
But
no, I'm kidding.
The line also seems to be
I love Vincent.
there. Seeing about up to 70 to 80 mile an hour winds estimated by radar. Look how electrified this line is, by the way. Look at all these individual lightning strikes.
Tell this kid to call me.
So many hazards in play here, and we're also talking about huge hail. As of right now, the hail threat has kind of
call me.
Decreased, at the very moment, but we still.
He's just not reading chat. That's okay. He'll call whenever he's ready. But yeah. Why is the stream not working? Hold on. Now Vincent's calling. Crap. Stream Vincent's good? Call. Okay, we're good. We're good. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and call up Vincent then. Let's see what's going on. Oh, wait, that was Jesse. That's Jesse TWX.
Yo, are you live?
I am.
Look, he can't hear you. That's okay.
I am live.
I was letting you know I'm about to go live, so if you want to hop on call, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Vincent to join, bro. I don't know if he can hear me. Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yo, Discord's cooked, bro. Alright, Mr. Storm's in here.
Let's fix this, boys. Screw the phone. Computer Discord.
Hello?
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 Are you guys still alive?
Yes, sir.
Is the event eventing, would you say?
No. And the main reason for that, I think, is just because our storm mode is not, it's not cooperating. It's not congealing on one line. Like, we've got all
It's
these,
really
like,
not.
baby QLCSs and these, like, briefly discrete supercells, but they are not going to be able to produce those expected 100 plus mile per hour wind gusts if that line doesn't congeal real fast.
Yeah, we did actually get a 100-mile-an-hour wind report, early. I don't know if you saw it.
A 100 mile
It
per hour
was
wind report, where was that?
north of Haskell, I think. It was just to the west of Seymour. I saw it earlier. Now it's gone. I don't know
Yeah, I don't see.
why.
It may have been like a
But
false
it was
report and they
there.
got rid of it.
Yeah, that's possible. But
Oh, did you
thanks for
donate to?
thanks for letting
Oh
me know
yeah,
for
I
all
pointed out that you donated 250. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Wapanucka, Witchpole, Milburn, and Tishomingo here in Oklahoma. Quarter size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds expected, so make sure we're getting indoors and away from windows. But really, again, like David said, not seeing the destructive derecho that we expected completely. But nonetheless, still a very significant line. Kind of impacting these regions. But
Hello?
I will say, I don't know if this is a new warning, but we do have now a destructive here for Haskell and Throckmorton in Texas. So this is our second destructive that we have currently in effect. Again, one back down here near Abilene. So I did mention this earlier in the stream how we did see that pocket of stronger winds off of radar there, and as a result, they have gone ahead and issued again that 80-mile-per-hour tag. So very, very intense winds, talking up to hurricane force wind gusts likely occurring in that warning box.
And something important to note here is that this is a very clear gust front with this storm, so you don't want to wait for it just to start raining because the winds will get there, 5-10 minutes before the rain. So if you're anywhere in the warning polygon near Albany or in the Woodson or Throckmorton or Abilene, Texas areas, you want to make sure that you are seeking shelter now just because those winds are going to arrive very quickly. Again, other areas, southern Oklahoma, not really seeing anything too intense in terms of our tornado warning storms. Again, these are struggling to rotate, partially due to the fact that there's low SRH out here, but also they are not discrete whatsoever. I mean, this is a very, very bad storm mode for these to produce tornadoes. And funnily enough, I suppose this was actually last night. Yes, this is the tornado from last night. Never mind. Our tornado from last night in southeastern Missouri did get rated at high-end EF1 intensity with peak wind gusts up to 100 miles an hour. But I just really don't think that we're going to see this event perform to our expectations unless this line congeals really quickly, which doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. I do think that we still have a threat for significant damaging winds, say potentially 90 to 100 miles an hour in the DFW Metroplex area. So if you're out there, I'd stay awake and wait for this to come in. But it doesn't look like they're going to congeal, at least up until that point. And again, they're going to die out so fast by the time they hit northern Louisiana just because of that low shear, low instability. So we'll see what happens, but we will see.
Yeah. But whatever happens, just make sure you do not let your guard down, because again, it's still a very significant line. But it looks like for the most part we're not seeing what we expected at the beginning of the day, where we saw a completely destructive full blown derecho. We're hopefully avoiding that as of right now, but we are still expecting this line to further strengthen as it approaches the DFW Metroplex. But again, we're starting to see more of those, 80-mile-per-hour severes, and definitely down the line could definitely see some more 90s and possibly even up to 100-mile-per-hour severes, like David said.
I'd also like to point out our pocket of winds there for our new destructive near Throckmorton is continuing to get more impressive. Again, these gusts are slightly elevated, but not too high. I mean, realistically, we're probably only looking at about 2.5, maybe
Hello?
3,000 feet up in the atmosphere here, and we've got wind gusts up to 95 miles an hour associated with this squall.
Kid on my
So
Discord's
if you're out here in this area,
22.
make sure you are seeking shelter immediately. They're just south of Throckmorton, Texas, is where that impact zone is going to be very shortly. Highway 283. They have issued a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of this squall for Graham and Breckenridge, Texas. I'm imagining they're going to have to upgrade that to at least 80 mile per hour wind gusts, but
Oh, yeah.
definitely a destructive line of storms on the way. So if you're in this area, make sure you are staying safe and staying in your safe spot. It almost looks like it's even trying to rotate ever so broadly there potentially, but I mean it's not going to be able to do much because again it's not really a supercell and it's not really a squall line either. It's kind of this weird like clustery, just nasty storm, and again that SRH is just not really that impressive out here.
Yeah. Um, but again, right in that circled area where we see those blues, especially those dark blues, right, that's where we're saying, likely up to 80, 85, maybe even as high as 90 mile per hour winds. Again, these are slightly elevated, but like David said, they're not too high. So, very significant wind gusts on approach here to the Woodson, Breckenridge, and Albany, Texas kind of area here. So, if you find yourself in the path of this squall, make sure that you are take this very seriously, that you're getting indoors and especially away from windows, um, because you really, want to avoid those windows in case they blow out or, debris ends up impacting them. But luckily our little pocket of winds back down towards Holly and Abilene seems to be on, the weakening trend here, but certainly do not let your guard down as up to hurricane force winds are certainly still possible with that.
Yeah, and again, those significant damaging wind gusts ranging, it's not just going to be areas in track of the supercell that sees rain. For example, or excuse me, sees wind. Further down to the south, right along I-20 between Trent and Markel, Texas, you'll notice we don't have any elevated DBZ values, and it's not really raining out here, but Freddie still has all that dust being kicked up because this is just such a powerful line of storms, and this is typically a feature we do see in derechos, is it's going to be one united gust front eventually, so we'll see what happens, but again, still some significant damaging wind gusts down near Markel and Ty, as well as Abilene, Texas. So just because you don't get hit with that rain doesn't mean you're not going to get hit with that wind. So make sure you are staying indoors and away from windows in this area. Again, avoid travel if possible. Again, Freddie out here seeing this absolutely incredible dust storm develop, as well as that amazing storm structure from up top. SRM also on that. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, nothing really too impressive other than our destructive severe
90
thunderstorm
mile
over
per hour
Woodson.
severe.
90. Oh, wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just upgraded the Albany, Texas. So if you're in Albany, Texas, you are now under a extremely dangerous situation. Severe thunderstorm warning here. Again, this is going to be for 90 mile per hour winds and ping pong ball size hail. So very significant destructive winds expected. Davis will let you go catch that tornado warning there.
Yeah, so that brand new tornado warning is going to be going out for sections of Oklahoma. This is our tornado warning here for downtown Durant. Now, again, I don't really think that any of these supercells look too impressive. I don't think they're going to be able to do much. I think these are mostly precautionary tornado warnings, but either way, these storms are still producing up to golf ball size to hail, damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, so you might as well just, in your best interest, it is to take shelter in this situation just for a little practice. And again, you are under a tornado warning. You shouldn't be taking this any less seriously just because a 15-year-old kid on the internet tells you that it's not that impressive. Obviously, listen to the professionals over me. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts here, but don't let me have you take this any less seriously if you are down here in the Durant or Cato areas. Also, I want to mention with that 90 mile per hour severe warning, you'll notice that is not only a 90 mile per hour severe warning, which would be impressive either way. If you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll see wind threat observed. So somewhere in the area,
wow.
likely spotter reported or something rather, we have confirmation that there are 90 mile per hour or greater wind gusts ongoing in this area. Now, again, as we said, you're not necessarily even going to see any sort of precipitation in this area. You may not see a drop of rain, but look at that. This little line here that appears on the radar, that is what's called a gust front. That's what's going to bring you all those significant, destructive, hurricane-force wind gusts of potentially Category 1, maybe even Category 2 strength. So if you're out here in Albany, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, these winds are equivalent to a weak EF1 tornado. So you want to make sure that you're treating this exactly like a tornado warning. The difference between this and a tornado tornado is this is more widespread. A tornado, at max at this strength, usually it's about, a quarter of a mile wide. This is a 20-mile wide swath of damaging winds of 90 miles per hour or greater. So you really want to take this seriously and take shelter, especially in downtown Albany.
Yeah, again, this is very, very significant destructive winds here. Was I right about the EDS tag?
Yes, 90s
Or
and
is that
EDS.
100?
90s EDS.
90s? Okay.
You'll notice also you can tell because you can look at the wording. You'll notice that is the same wording they use for a PDS tornado warning.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's slightly
We did just
differentiated, but
say they just got a news for this morning here for Denison, Sherman, and Whitesboro, Texas. This is going to be for 65-mile-per-hour winds and Forsyth Hill. This is going to be in effect for the next hour and 6 minutes. So again, little cluster warnings for the eastern side of our little QLCS here. But we're really watching south of Wichita Falls for if we're going to get that, connection and we're going to see that full-blown line. We're really seeing kind of two separate lines where really the dominant line as far as dampened wind gust goes is the southern mode, and then the northern part of the line is going to be really, where we're going to see those areas of rotation, which really have been struggling to produce tornadoes today. But that's really all we're seeing at the moment. But again, significant winds currently unfolding here around the Throckmorton and Albany, Texas areas.
yeah. And I did want to quickly mention for tomorrow's risk. I know it's a big, scary, like huge, huge slight risk. Like this is one of the biggest slight risks we've seen this year. It covers. In general, we have over 90 million people under at least a marginal risk of severe weather for tomorrow. But the main threats that we're really going to be looking out for here are damaging winds. And it's a very widespread threat just because it's summertime. Everywhere has instability. This is not super uncommon. You don't need to worry for any sort of tornado threat, really not even any sort of hail threat, because your lapse rates are going to be struggling pretty much everywhere. But some isolated damaging winds can't be ruled out anywhere from the Great Lakes area back down to the Gulf Coast, so you want to make sure that you are looking out for that. Multiple ways to receive alerts. And then as we go into Tuesday as well, we actually do have a day 3 marginal risk of severe weather, a trio of marginal risks here, one of them going out for portions of the Gulf Coast, one of them going out for portions of the East Coast, the remnants of tomorrow's event, and then one of them going out for parts of Montana. So again, the next few days really don't look too significant. I do think that we're going to start to see an uptick in activity here as we go into the early portions of next week. Again, just taking a look at the GFS model here, it's kind of picking up on a signal. Again, you'll notice that we've got that, quote-unquote, a lot of people like to call it a ring of fire pattern. I was kind of blanking there, and that's because these systems just move right around that ring. You'll notice they have that same exact track for almost all of them. But again, the main area of concern looks to be for portions of the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes region over the next couple of weeks, where even though today's derecho, or quote-unquote derecho, it may not be a derecho event, didn't really perform, or at least it hasn't yet, there's still the potential to see something big up here in the northern plains and the upper Midwest next week. And again, pretty much guaranteed once per year, the Midwest has at least one annual summertime derecho. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'll shut up. Sorry, I won't shut up. There's a new damaging wind gust report. This is likely what bumped our tag up to 90 miles an hour. An 86-mile-per-hour wind gust recorded by a mesonet out of northeastern Jones County. That's why we had this 90-mile-per-hour damaging wind gust tag here in this storm. So, again, confirmed winds of 85 to 90 miles an hour approaching the Albany, Texas area.
They have actually overlapped the severe warning here over Throckmorton and Woodson. That's with our northern little pocket of winds there. So that was previously one for 80-mile-per-hour winds. They just reissued a new warning there for, again, 90-mile-per-hour winds. So we have two warning polygons here for 90-mile-per-hour winds. So again, that's an extremely dangerous situation for the Woodson and Throckmorton, Texas area. But ping pong ball size hail is also expected. So again, that's going to be, wind-driven hail. So that's going to be going into your windows, obviously at a very, very fast rate because they're going to be falling to the earth, but they're also going to be driven by these very, very strong destructive winds. So very, very dangerous storm here in Texas on approach to the Breckenridge, Newcastle, Graham, and Olney area here.
I have somebody asking in chat about Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois mainly today. If you're talking about like extreme, Southern Illinois is going to be looking out for some damaging winds and large hail. Except for it's really going to be more so early tomorrow morning. So if you have to get up early for work, you might want to do it even a little bit earlier than morning, because some of this large hail can certainly disrupt your travel. Even if you're just a bad driver in thunderstorms in general, you might want to take the proper precautions there because there is certainly at the very least going to be some form of precipitation down here in Southern Illinois late tonight and early tomorrow morning. But again, potentially even a couple of severe thunderstorms, as some of that instability actually does get relatively impressive out here in portions of far southern Illinois. I mean, obviously, it's not anything incredible, but it does exist. And then again, the main thing that's actually going to be driving these severe thunderstorms is your wind shear. But again, you've got yourselves, 2,000, 2,500 joules per kilogram of surface cape. And then your wind shear values are also not terrible whatsoever out here. I mean, within the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere. Okay, I suppose they are actually pretty terrible. Never mind. I'm an idiot. They're not terrible because we were talking about tomorrow morning. Your wind shear values look to be at about 50 knots here within the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere. So certainly enough to support a severe weather threat down there in southern Illinois late tonight.
Will note, go to the Abilene, Texas cyclone port. You can actually see the oncoming MCS here. There's some significant lightning in the background. You can actually start to see it. The there, so pretty interesting view with that getting but news here this morning here. Going out for portions of southern Oklahoma for Pauls Valley, Stratford, Roth, Sulphur, Mill Creek, and Wynwood. Wynwood, this is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. I can't believe I tripped up over that name because I've said that name so many times.
Wynwood or Wynnywood?
Wynwood.
I call it Wynwood, so.
Yeah, I know there's like a lot of different versions of it, but I just go by what the lady from the town said in Hank's video.
It's crazy.
News for Thursday morning there for Breckenridge, Texas here. So that is actually overlapping that, warning out in front of the pocket of damage winds we were talking about earlier. This is going to be for 80-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So they did not reissue the 90 tag. But this should be observed. It's radar indicated.
Which one?
Yes. The new warning for Breckenridge. Because I think has to be a observed 80-mile-per-hour wind report inside the warning polygon for that to happen.
For what to happen?
For them to push it to an observed.
Well, it's not observed. It's radar indicated.
Oh.
Are you talking about the new one for Breckenridge?
Yes.
Yeah, it's radar indicated.
Oh. I thought the previous warning was observed. I guess not.
No, previous one is radar indicated. If you're referring to the one for the Albany area, that one is observed. There was an 86 mile an hour gust further off to the west there in northeast Jones County, and I think the reason this new one's probably radar indicated is, one, it's coming from a different part of your gust front, and then also, by that point, we don't know if it's going to be weak or strong or not,
Yeah.
I will say one thing. These storms are moving at an incredibly quick pace. The new severe thunderstorm warning mentions they're only moving southeast at 45 miles an hour, but again, they're all different. The one for the Albany area says southeast at 50 miles an hour, because again, you have to remember these are all different clusters of thunderstorms, but generally these are moving relatively fast. So if you are out here in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter ahead of time. There's a reason we're getting these warnings out so quickly. One, because we have high confidence that these storms will survive to that point, so it's like, why not issue the warning early? But also, just because these are moving so incredibly fast, you really do have to play it safe. Again, at the moment, two 90-mile-per-hour wind tags, severe thunderstorm warnings going out for portions of central Texas. One of them for Albany, one of them for Woodson. I'm near Plano. How screwed am I? I wouldn't necessarily say that you're screwed, but I actually do think that the Plano area in particular, like the north side of DFW, is probably going to be at the greatest impact zone for significant damaging wind gusts and potentially even some large hail. So if you're out here in this area, make sure you're prepared for the night. Make sure on multiple ways to receive alerts, especially if you plan on going to bed early. It's going to be around a midnight threat, so you've got to stay weather aware out there. Potentially a brief QLCS tornado. I would highly doubt it though, because again, your vertical wind shear out here is very, very poor. If I'm being totally honest with you, especially north of DFW. If we take a look at our SRH values, again, even within the first 3 kilometers of the atmosphere, they're barely hitting 200. So your tornado threat's likely going to be shunted by that fact there. If you're north of DFW.
We did just get a news for excuse me. We did just get a news for this morning here for Madill and Kingston, Oklahoma. This is gonna be for 70-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail. So if you're in this area, make sure getting indoors and away from windows. I would like to note that our pocket of winds just had a pretty explosive jump. Again, this is still slightly elevated and estimated by radar, but it is now picking up on wind gusts up to 98 miles per hour, at least on the scan prior to what we have now. So very significant wind gusts, still likely up to 80, maybe even 90 miles per hour in some of these areas.
Yeah. I had a question for you.
So
I want to hear you pronounce the town north of Newcastle, Texas.
oh no, where's Newcastle at?
Um,
Oh, oh, just the town?
the town north of Newcastle.
Is it only?
You did it! You did it right.
Yeah.
Oh, I was only making fun
What
of you
did you
because you've
think
done it
that?
wrong before.
I said only.
Yeah, or something like that. For everybody in
Oh,
chat saying that I'm wrong, it is literally only. I have an only like 20 minutes away from me, so don't try and debate this.
Mr. Thunder's warning here for Muenster, Gainesville, Denton, Corinth, Bridgeport, Decatur, Paradise, and Bowie, Texas. This is going to be for 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail. The only reason why I always remember, is it Bowie or Bowie?
Bowie?
Yeah, just because Mark Payton was inside a tornado.
So it sounds like. Never mind.
There.
I'm not going to say that.
Oh no.
Tornado warning continues for Durant. Again, our circulation really not super impressive, and our vertical wind shear, our SRH, is quite poor, so I doubt these are going to be able to do much. But
Yeah, velocities are just breaking over Woodson, so whatever's happening is pretty significant.
what'd you say?
Crazy. I give it 3 seconds. 3.
Just watching Freddy.
Where were
Our
velocities?
velocities are breaking over Woodson, Texas.
Well, I think that's just general contamination, probably. I don't know if that's necessarily breaking. If you look at reflectivity, you'll notice those lower preset values. That's usually a sign of contamination.
Oh yeah. What is Freddy doing? Oh my gosh. Freddy's at an all subs and he's trying to cue lightning. Must be fun.
Our pocket of winds over the
Hey.
Woodson area is now getting close to 100 miles an hour in velocities here. Again, several of these pixels contaminated, but this little pocket here, these are genuine grade A, 100% American wind gusts. And again, these are 90, 95 miles an hour, even close to 100 miles an hour. So I would not be shocked if they upgrade the severe thunderstorm warning for Breckenridge up to a 90-mile-an-hour tag. Especially just because these are so close to the surface. Again, I mean, these are legitimately like 1,000 feet up in the atmosphere, which, I mean, a general rule of thumb is about 20 miles for every 1,000 feet on the radar. We're about 27 miles, so it's not, again, we're talking like 1,000, maybe 2,000 feet if we're being generous. So these gusts are very close to surface level. If you're out here in Breckenridge, I'd be taking shelter.
Yeah, this is certainly a destructive pocket of winds. But would be interesting to see if we do get any reports out of the Throckmorton area, because they did just get kind of a taste of these winds. But really, over the past couple of scans, this just continues to strengthen here. So
concerning trend. Definitely kind of underway here. I would like to note little circulation starting to develop just to the south of Nugent or Nugent, Texas, near Phantom Hill. There's some rotation developing. I don't know if you want to go check that out, but it is starting to
Phantom
spin
Hill.
up there. What?
I'm looking for the town name.
Oh, there's actually a notch developing as well.
Yeah, I
So a
mean
little
it's
bit
a very very
of info.
weak broad
Very
area of
weak, yeah.
circulation. And again, I don't think it's gonna be able to do much because if you just look at your SRH values out here, they're again. I know I keep bringing it up; it's probably getting annoying, but I just want to mention, guys, this would be such a significant QLCS tornado event if our SRH was higher. First kilometer here, again, you can't really count it for this hour just because we've already got thunderstorms moving in the area, but the general vicinity, we've got, like 150, maybe 200 SRH. So, I mean, it's not necessarily that that's poor, but usually if you're only going to have that much, you want it to be a supercellular tornado mode. For a QLCS tornado threat, usually you're going to have a lot more than 150 SRH.
Yeah, and also, this line is going to be mostly outflow dominant, so it's going to be hard to get enough inflow to kind of spin up a tornado just in general.
No, wind and hail threat is not too high for a tour watch because they've issued tour watches with the 90, even 100 mile an hour wind tags, and obviously DVD sized hail before. This is just not a setup that is supportive for a significant tornado threat, guys. I mean, again, the Storm Prediction Center, obviously, they do have that massive 5% total risk, and that's respectable, but you have to keep in mind this is a setup that is linear base. Even the cells that are discrete are not discrete for long, and you've got poo poo SRH, you've got, again, just not a very impressive setup for a tornado threat. Again, a lot of people have been saying, why did they not issue the Tour Watch? Why did they not issue the Tour Watch? I really just don't think one's necessary for today. Maybe I'm just crazy, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that the PDS Severe was the way to go.
yeah.
So they have downgraded now our warning here for Abilene and Holy, Texas to a 70 mile an hour wind tag. So still very strong, considerable damage threat here, strong winds moving through this area, but really we're seeing the strongest of winds kind of confined to the north here towards the Breckenridge and Albany, Texas area here.
New tornado warning just issued. That is going to be going out. Or I suppose this is not a new tornado warning. It popped up on me. I guess it just disappeared
Severe.
for a sec.
This is there's warning here for Atoka, Caddo, Cheeto, and Bennington, Oklahoma for quarter-size hail and 60 mile per hour winds. Make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows if in that warning.
Let me know where all you're watching from because, again, although today is not a super widespread threat, it's mainly North Texas, Southern Oklahoma. Tomorrow is actually quite a widespread damaging wind threat, although not too significant. I know we've got some viewers watching from the DFW area, so it is worth noting we do have a relatively new severe thunderstorm warning going out for Denton County. This is for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors and away from windows immediately. Again, not quite towards the Plano area just yet.
Yeah. But very heavily electrified storms here. We're one county away from this line being fully severe warned.
That is very true. And I think that'll honestly change here pretty soon. I mean, we're starting to kind of see this become one fully congealed line.
Yeah.
Very close to it, anyway. Can you imagine all the
Yep.
weather enthusiasts out here in the broken part of this line?
Oh my gosh. It's so bad. It would obviously be me because I need to be cursed all the time.
What's up, William? How's it going?
My chat is literally dead, bro. I had like one person the whole time. But if you have any questions about your location, feel free to let me know.
OKC is about clear now. Yeah, OKC is fine.
Yeah, y'all are good to go here.
Trying to think what else there is to talk about here. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Really not a lot. Again, I'm glad we figured out my stream issues because that would have been so miserable, guys.
That looked terrible. What's up, Mr. Twister? But yeah, still a very significant positive.
It is worth noting we did have a couple of tornadoes out on the East Coast today. One of them being located just near Liberty, Virginia. The other being just southwest of Williamsburg. The one near Williamsburg did end up downing some power lines and trees. But that's Vincent on the call. So I will say our pocket of winds, again, approaching Albany, Texas downtown right now. I mean, they're highly elevated, guys. I mean, we're talking, 100+ mile per hour wind gusts, and this is very near to the surface. So if you're in Albany, you've got to get to your safe spot immediately. I mean, things are probably already kicking up because the gust front's already passed through your area, but now the rain's starting to come in, and it's going to get gnarly real fast, guys. So expect some down trees, power lines, damage to roofs, siding, all possible. New tornado warning just issued for portions of Oklahoma. If I'm correct.
Durant,
I got the alert, but nothing
Cheeto.
It appears up here. That is for Calera, Colbert, and Boca Cheeto, which would be... I don't know why it's not popping up. I suppose it is popping up. It's this new one here, over the area just south of Durant. So again, very hail containment. I mean, I really doubt that these cells in Oklahoma are going to do anything, guys. I just don't see it happening.
They have not produced at all. Are those winds legit back towards...
Vincent, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Oh. You
Vincent's
hear me?
dead. Rip Vincent. Summoner Media has a lot of lightning. No doubt. I mean, there's a lot of, you hear them? Like, you hear them right now? Right now?
You guys hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Alright. I don't know what's happening.
Yep. Alrighty. So, again, really not a lot to discuss here at the moment. I mean, there's just nothing to compensate on. I mean, it's, again, it's a Derecho. What do you want me to say? It's not even...
Yeah, you told me that this was going to happen.
Yeah. It's not even like it's really a derecho again. I mean, this is just a widespread damaging wind event. Unless these lines congeal into one very soon, I really doubt that we're going to see this get the derecho classification. Because, again, it's not going to survive further than, say, north central Louisiana. So it's really, like, it has a very, very small amount of time. Very technically. I suppose it doesn't have to be one line the entire time, but the originating line has to congeal at some point. I don't know. The classifications for this one are going to be weird. I'd say the chance it gets labeled as a derecho is probably like 25-75, but I still consider the Pittsburgh event a derecho, but National Weather Service decided that, no, we're going to change the definition of a derecho. Now you have to have enough significant wind gust reports. New destructive north of McKinney.
No.
Yeah, I don't see the destructive.
That would be very bad.
Thank you. That would be very bad.
News for Thunderstorm here for Warren, Baird, Putnam, Clyde, and Albany, Texas here for 80-mile-per-hour winds and half-dollar size hail. So it is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter. Again, those are very, very strong damaging winds. I don't know where you're seeing the destructive over.
Yeah, I don't see it
Or
anywhere.
north of you.
Oh wait, it is there. So there's so many
Where?
severe warning. There's so many severe warning polygons. It covers it up, and you can't click on it. But I believe it'll be in effect for Whitesboro and Gainesville, Texas, just near Sherman. And again, oh crap. Okay, can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me, Vincent?
Yes.
Yeah, my computer froze up for like 10 seconds. Or destructive going out just north of McKinney. There again, everybody in McKinney is dead.
Oh.
If you know, you know. If you're in McKinney, you're not actually
That's-
dead. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't freak out.
It's just an unfunny joke.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
Watch this. I can do a 90-degree... Hold on. This is going to end me in the hospital. Fun fact that you guys don't know about me. I've been in the hospital for head injuries 2 times in my first 4 years of my life. Actually, no, in the first 9 years of my life.
Don't do it.
I'm leaning back in my chair. I should be getting a new, like, actual chair for here soon, like an actual desk chair, which is hilarious, because never in my streaming career, that room or here, have I ever had a desk chair.
Yeah.
I will say, I kind of like the camera angle being this way. I think I'm going to do it this way permanently.
My mom interrupted my live stream just to tell me that I have to take out the trash.
That's a rip.
Yeah.
What do you think the
My
highest
alt
wind gust tonight will be?
Instagram.
Probably 100, around there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Albany looks like, again, Albany looks very impressive. And again, these are basically surface winds, guys. I suppose they're not nearly as impressive now that we're getting closer to radar, but still 75, 80 miles an hour. Not too shabby.
Are those tiny pixels?
Those are
of,
contamination.
like-
Contamination.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just weakened a lot, but still,
I saw that was a
south
twister.
of Lusk, Texas here, with our 90-mile-per-hour severe, we still do have a pocket of pretty strong winds, likely up to, 80, 85 miles per hour, so.
William told me to throw a big pillow on the floor behind me, and then it doesn't matter if I fall.
Alright,
So here we go. No, I'm kidding, William.
but, this area here is, where we're talking about threats of really 70 to, let's say 70 to 80.
We have an observed tornado now in Oklahoma.
Wow.
So I got proven very wrong. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Brett, you're supposed to say no. Weather spotters confirm tornado over at Chile. If you're in this area, you gotta make sure you are running, not walking, your safe spot. This is a confirmed tornado. First one of the derecho. We had a couple with our supercells back earlier in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles. Okay, why did our pressure turn on? I didn't turn that on. What
What's
the flip?
happening?
How do I... You guys saw me. I did not turn that on. I didn't do anything.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw, but this is pretty late. But an hour ago, we got a PDS severe thunderstorm watch for northeastern Texas.
Yeah.
Widespread gusts up to 100 miles per hour
The
expected.
north central
I didn't even
Texas...
realize that.
The north central Texas, south central Oklahoma is 105.
Yeah, that was the first watch, right?
Yeah. I've never seen a severe watch that high.
I just did not realize that they reissued it. I'm actually pretty surprised considering how lackluster the event has been so far.
Well,
In that
it was
area.
issued quite a while ago.
It was issued 52 minutes ago.
54 minutes
So.
ago, actually.
Alright.
Now I open the frictionary. I was gonna say frickin' in dictionary, and I said frictionary. Guys, why did the pressure?
Please, weather flips be here.
Anybody that knows Radar Omega, how do I turn the pressure off? You guys saw me. I did not turn pressure tracks on.
The frictionary.
The frictionary, bro. What? You guys saw me. I did not turn that on, bro. Like what? Like what?
What?
Ghost in the machine. Maybe there's a hotkey for it. Ask ChatGPT. Open ChatGPT.
This is insane. Gosh, that gust front is very far out in front of the storm. At its farthest point, it is 8 miles ahead of the storm, so it's already gonna get very, very windy before, like, well before it starts raining. So you do not want to wait for it to start raining to go ahead and seek shelter. You really want to make sure you're getting yourself indoors and especially away from windows. If you have a basement, get down there. Just hunker down for a good 20 minutes because this line's gonna be out of your way before you know it. So just hunker down in the basement while you can. Bring some snacks. Bring something to do. Because it's really not gonna be that long. And some popcorn.
Bro, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, guys, I don't know how to... Like, what? You guys saw me. I literally didn't do anything. I just looked up and it was on.
Your Radar Omega thing turned on?
My Radar Omega thing.
Like the pressure overlay.
Well, I don't know how to turn that off. I don't know where that's at. That's the problem. That's the problem, Bob.
I can probably find it.
Good luck.
Which one you call units? Oh yeah, there's no way of finding this. Buoys. Surface fronts. That's cooked.
Bubba.
Weird.
Bubba.
How do I do?
Oh, wait.
On?
No.
I'd like to note our area of significant wind gust is weakening.
And now, why did it just open Cape? I don't even have...
Just restart your Radar Omega.
I don't think that's going to fix anything. I'm not going to lie.
Scope.
You know,
Alright, do some thunderstorm
I thought we
here.
were friends. I can't believe you suggest that I use radar scope.
Alright.
I'm not a
It's gonna
dog.
be for Breckenridge. Didn't you use it like
I almost just ended stream.
last stream?
Well, yeah, because Omega was
Oh.
being poo-poo. How do I turn you off, bro? That's going to get taken so far out of context, bro. Now I can't...
Oh, you're having the worst time right now.
I finally got my stream working at the beginning because I had a 30-minute stream that was all laggy.
New Speed Thunderflying for Elliottsville, Ivan, Crystal Falls, and Breckenridge, Texas. Assuming
WX
for
clips
80
better
mile
at
per
least
hour
get in here.
winds. Quarter side zone. Oh, this stream's not it.
It's in surface fronts. Yeah,
Mhm.
well, would you mind telling me where the frick that is? Oh, it's right there. Fun. Well, I'm dumb.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Camp. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm already getting quoted. Make it a quote.
Yeah.
So, again, destructive wind gusts still in play here, mainly across areas northeast of Abilene. I don't see too much happening tonight in terms of a derecho potential, guys. I'm going to be honest at this point.
By the way, north of...
Hello?
Wait.
Is that
We
Jesse
have
Tarkleson?
so many
I'm
destructives.
gonna crash out.
Why?
Wait, what's going on? I'm so confused. Who is talking? Bro, what is that?
Hello?
Who is on the other end?
It's Jesse.
Oh.
You can't hear Jesse?
I don't know. He's just been popping in and saying random stuff. I don't know what he's saying.
Can Jesse not hear us?
He just left.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep. His Discord is like breaking.
Guys, I'm willing to bet like a lot of lunchlies that this tornado near Chile is no longer ongoing. Again, you have to keep in mind it was this supercell that produced, and the inflow was cut off, and it's gonna try to develop a new inflow, and it's gonna have like 30 seconds to do so before the actual line just swallows it. So I think QLCS wins here. QLCS 1, Supercell 0.
Yeah.
Mr. Twister, thank you for becoming a slight risk member. W's in the chat. Yeah, we can hear you, Jess. Thank you so much, Mr. Twister. W's in the chat for becoming a member once again. Thank you so much, my dude. You lost a 5-month streak. Yeah, that's a rip. By the
I
way,
can hear you guys, but I can just say, tornadoes are cool.
oh, okay.
Alright.
I wanted to let you guys know, if you want to see more awful takes like the ones that you get here on YouTube, go over to my Twitter, follow me at DavisDoesWX. Sometimes I post 10 times a day on there, and then other times I don't post anything. So please go check it out, just because people on Twitter hate me, and I need some people that actually support me. So that would help out a lot. New mesoskill discussion, let's check it out.
What does base velocity measure?
What do you mean?
Like, how is it different than high res velocity?
Well, high res is just the same thing, but less pixelated. It's higher resolution.
Huh?
The base is like what they used back in like the early 2000s. Now with most apps we have high res, and on scope you even have super res. But like if you ever look at like radar data from like the 90s or the early 2000s on scope, this is what you're gonna see.
Like Gerald?
Yeah, like Gerald. Also like the if any of you guys watched my April 7, 2006 video, this is what things looks like.
Newspaper this morning. This is going to be going out for portions of southern Oklahoma for Durant, Colbert, Chile, and Calera. I don't know why, but I feel like a lot of National Weather Service offices are like overlapping severe warnings.
Yeah.
But this one's going to be for 70 mile an hour winds and penny size hail, so if you're included in that warning, make sure you're getting indoors or away from windows. We also did get a news here this morning. This is an extension of our destructive here for Ranger, Eastwood, and Cisco. Let's see, they have dropped the destructive tag all the way down to 60 mile per hour winds.
For which...
That's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, actually, if you look at velocities, it kind of makes sense. As the closer we got to the radar, the clearer it became that these really aren't nearly as impressive as we thought. Putting it all the way down to 60 is kind of wild, though. I figured it would say at least 70.
Yeah, I mean, I did not see that coming.
I don't know why they would. That does not make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
The environment is not that bad.
SRM is taking back roads right now.
Oh my gosh, that's going to get taken so far out of context. Oh, I just got a notification. Body found at age 15. Missing girl. So that new mesoscale discussion, just to change the subject from that, the new mesoscale discussion goes out for portions. Why do you not want a screen mirror? Well, thank you for just not working. Anyway, it goes out for portions of southeast Oklahoma as well as north central Texas. This is actually crazy. They circled a little area, and they said most likely area for derecho occurrence.
What?
Now, that wouldn't normally be a problem, but if you guys look at the area that it covers, I don't understand. Maybe they mean derecho continuance. I don't understand how they can say derecho occurrence, because this is a very small swath. I'm assuming they...
This makes me...
Oh, okay, so it makes sense. They're expecting... I suppose they're just saying that they're expecting the two QLCSs to finally congeal.
So I guess they are expecting a derecho still.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's not entirely impossible, like I said. I mean, it's either way, whether it's a derecho or not, it is a very significant damaging wind event.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is... Even if it doesn't play out, obviously, it seems like that's what's happening, that it doesn't play out as we thought it could have. This is still an extremely impressive QLCS, MCS kind of event here.
Yeah. New severe thunderstorm warning, and that is going to be going out for Plano, McKinney, Bonham, and Greenville, Texas. This is for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour. I know we've got some viewers in the Plano area, so I do want to mention Plano. Technically, you are under this severe thunderstorm warning, but realistically, you've got another 30 minutes before things get started. But just to play things on the safer side, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows. I would not be shocked if this got upgraded to a destructive with an uptick in activity. I'm not saying it's impossible. Not saying it's probable, though. But we'll see what happens. Also, still, again, our significant damaging winds ongoing with our southern QLCS mode. Damaging winds 70 miles an hour or greater. Ongoing now.
Warning continues here for Durant, or south side of Durant. The HRR does have this line eventually kind of congealing into one. By the time we get into really, once this gets past the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, which is at about which it's in about an hour from now, so we'll see if that does verify here.
For anybody wondering why I hid that guy had another message that got held for review, and it was very nasty. So, it was on Vincent's comment earlier about SRM's back roads.
I mean, I've been live for well over an hour, so it's certainly been an eventful stream. That gust front was very significant here near Breckenridge. Expo.
Yeah. Again, I really do think that we're probably, or at least I don't know what Vincent's plan is, but I'm probably not going to be here for another 30 minutes or so, unless something significant happens, like the lines congeal, and then boom, everything goes down. And even then, the damaging wind threat doesn't increase with that, guys. It just makes it more widespread. If anything significant goes down in the DFW Metroplex, like perhaps a brief QLCS tornado or some significant damaging winds, we may come back. But I just don't see a whole lot of reason to otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nothing much going on at the moment.
Should I worry about the slight tomorrow? No. As we said earlier, the slight is not, I mean, it's very large, but it doesn't indicate any sort of significant severe threat, and I don't see it either, honestly.
Yeah.
Again, I think, oh, hold on. We did just get a couple of brand new tornado warnings. One of them going out for Sherman, Texas. You guys probably saw me just looking at that. We actually do have a pretty tight velocity couplet just southwest of Sherman, so if you're in this area, make sure you are seeing shelter. This is the most significant QLCS rotation I think we've seen all day. Also, new tornado warning going out. It's an extension for a storm that previously produced a tornado, I believe, or at least one of the conjoining storms near Chile, Oklahoma. So if you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter as well. Again, I'm actually pretty interested in that little pocket rotation near Sherman. I wasn't sure, no pun intended, if that was rotation, but I mean, verifying it from multiple radars, this is rotation. And it has a decently clear inflow there on reflectivity.
8 to gate shear is at about 100 miles per hour, so significant area of rotation. What's up, David File and...
Ban that David File guy. He's the one that said the nasty thing about what you said.
Oh.
He made a joke about the back roads thing.
Oh.
He said, wait, SRM is giving out free... Yeah.
But again, that tornado threat is starting to increase, especially in the Sherman area.
He said... Did you see what he put in chat?
Yes.
Why did you say, hey, David, whenever he said that?
What?
Whenever he joined, you said, hey, David.
Oh, yeah.
Again, potentially an ongoing tornado here, honestly, approaching Howie and Tom Bean,
Howie.
Texas.
I finally got to correct you.
Winnie Bagoo.
Alright.
I'm lost. What is
Winnie
SRM? SRM is Storm Intermedia. DL Skills and Garrett Thompson, the GOATs. I want to meet these dudes one day. I want to meet all the chasers and all the people that have helped out this channel so much, but they were like some of the first ones. I really want to meet them. I guess technically John McKinney and Freddie were the first ones that joined, and Connor and Corey Gherkin, and kind of
You have
everybody.
permission to use Connor's speed?
I don't. Now, if I used it, would he like freak out on me and like sue me? Probably not, but I don't want to use it without his permission.
Yeah.
But I doubt he would pull a Pappenheim.
That's funny. Is Hilton like a town or is that just a hotel?
Well, I mean, it is a hotel chain, but I think it's just a little landmark there.
Some. Yeah. I mean, there's literally nothing.
David File 2.
So.
Oh, Mr. Twister
If
got
you're the
to...
Hilton Hotel in Sherman, Texas, and whether they're directing you, I don't even know where you would take shelter in a hotel.
Just on the lowest floor. Have you seen, like, the Barnsdall Hotel footage?
I've not, actually.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. The actual hotel only sustained EF1 damage, surprisingly, but, like, people were just standing there at the entrance recording it while it just slabbed them.
Hey.
You went
I'm
to
seeing
Six
more
Flags? Which
lightning
Six Flags?
strikes. More lightning strikes, filling in the gap there between severe warnings. We just need one more severe warning. This would be a much more significant situation here. So we're still watching if the showers and storms will continue to develop, but slowly but surely this line is making its way towards the DFW Metroplex. We did just get a news this morning here for Atoka and Tushka, Oklahoma here for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in this area, make sure you're going to get indoors and away from windows.
Guys, I don't know how much tighter this velocity couplet could get before it produces. I mean, there's almost certainly an ongoing tornado south of Sherman. I mean, that is really impressive.
We did also get a news thunderstorm warning here for Sandy Butte, or Study Butte, in Texas for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Also, the storm here with a hail spike in Mexico. It's like the smallest hail spike ever because it's so far away from the radar.
Where's it?
It's like in southern Texas. It's like on the border.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these storms have that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why they just decided to pop off.
Yeah, I mean, they did have the slate risk going back into here. I think it's mainly just, I mean, for one, the SRH isn't half bad, and then also your instability is decent. You're looking at about 2,000 joules per kilogram.
Yeah.
Actually, wouldn't be totally shocked if these tried to, like, broadly rotate. I don't think it's likely, but I mean, I guess this shear out here is honestly pretty impressive as well, so it's not impossible that we see a brief tornado this far south. The only problem is there's no way we're seeing it on radar. No freaking way. Again, if you're just not tuning in, is 115 3 Cape a lot? Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's more than enough to promote a tornado threat and a severe weather threat in general. If you're just not tuning in, we have a possible ongoing tornado near Dorchester, Texas, just south of Sherman. I know we've got some viewers here north of DFW, so I want to make sure that we're covering this very precisely. Again, this looks like an ongoing tornado to me. I mean, we don't have any sort of confirmation of that, but I would be hard-pressed to believe that a velocity couplet that strong and that tight isn't at least trying to produce.
Yeah.
Canes? Why is everybody saying Canes? Thank you, Jesse.
What?
Everybody's saying Canes. I don't understand.
What happened to Jesse?
I don't know. Rotation just broadened out a lot there in the most recent velocity scan. So.
Yeah, that hill definitely got slabbed.
Yeah. Pretty much all of our severe warnings of the Southern QLCS, it's pretty hilarious. As soon as they issued that mesoscale, they all just died. Like, I mean, these are really not very intense thunderstorms.
Every other scan here on this area of rotation is like tight and then really weak, so I feel like it could come back the next scan. We'll see.
Well, I was talking about just the Southern QLCS.
Oh, well, I'm talking about like,
You're talking about rotation over Sherman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously it's going to be kind of hard just because,
Things
one,
are-
it's a QLCS rotation, and two, it's far away from radar, but
Things overall are just getting a lot less significant.
Freddie and
Uh,
oh my
previously.
gosh, I'm going to get sued.
What?
Freddie's stream ended. I accidentally have Jordan Hall up.
Oh. What do I have up then?
Probably a
Oh, I have a
video.
random Jason as well.
I don't know.
Oh, I also joined it.
I definitely don't think PA
Who's
is
left?
Just SRN.
I didn't get off this. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's really bad.
No, not you. I'm talking about this in my chat.
Oh.
No, Jordan Hall is a chill
just
guy,
gonna
but
listen.
there's some lore between me and Jaden Pappenheim that we don't get into, and him and Jaden Pappenheim are kind of buds. So,
Yeah.
what was that
At
noise?
least he followed you though.
Yeah, we chill.
Jordan Hall follows me on Twitter, so I'm sure it wouldn't be a disaster if he found me.
Well, John Cena follows Levi on Twitter, and I don't think he'd like him using his storm chasing footage. John
Yeah,
Cena's a
that's
D1
true. Would
chaser.
not. For queso.
Bro, it's crazy. Well,
He
Freddy
like
died.
gets slapped on April 2nd.
Freddy died. Yeah, he was, well, no, he was on, he got slapped on, maybe it was April 2nd, yeah.
He was watching Max.
Yeah. I think it was in the
Literally
Tory,
crash
I
out on.
think. I feel like he was in the Lake
Oh,
City
really?
Tory. Maybe, I don't know that for a fact, but...
You can finally see the destructive for Denton and Flower Mound.
Bro, our event is
It's
not
blocked
eventing
by the other
whatsoever.
ones. I honestly doubt there's some 80-mile-per-hour winds occurring in there.
What did Jesse just text? I'm
Look.
convinced that the trolls are...
Yeah, he's got a point.
Wait, Mr. Twister, didn't you say you think you know who the trolls are? If so, text me who you think it is. Well, 21, 0 to 3 kilometer shear is not a lot.
News returned from running all the way up here to the Texas Panhandle. This is bringing me back like a week. But it's going to be for Plainview, Lockney, and Floydada.
I'm just not even
I
going to
say
say
it.
anything about that one.
How do you say it?
Floyd Data.
Floydada.
Yeah.
It's going to be for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Jesse had a
That
very
was so
uncomfortable
bad.
realization.
What's up? Sorry. Give me a second, guys, on this. Alright. Dude, I can't freaking import my videos, or export my videos
I don't
from
think Jesse
Lightroom.
can hear us, can he?
I don't know, they just won't export, and I'm crashing out.
Jesse, can you hear us?
What's going on?
Jesse cannot hear us.
Show me on the screen what you're
Oh, yeah, here, I'll show you. Give me a second. I gotta close my... I was gonna go live, and I just decided not to, because low-key the...
We're going to do that. Sorry, Jesse. Sorry, Levi. Hello?
Hello?
I just knew that Jesse couldn't hear us, and they were going to talk about things that they would not want to talk about the stream, so...
I wanted to leave that call anyways just because, like, I don't know, I just don't want to have to deal with technical difficulties and everyone talking over each other while we have a destructive severe, if you know what I mean.
William says, "Oh, I'd love to make a politician joke about DC under the circumstances tomorrow. I shall refrain."
Alrighty.
It would definitely not be the most significant damaging wind event in Southern Plains history now, no. But I want to point out, and this is brought up by somebody that we just love here. No. This is brought up, and it was the whole thing that sparked the controversy today that a lot of you guys probably have heard about. Again, I usually try to keep controversies, whether they're on Twitter or whether they're in YouTube comments or whatever, I usually try to not bring those up on stream, but the whole thing that sparked the controversy is he said that I claimed that today would be the Southern Plains' biggest damaging wind event in history. I didn't say that. I said it was set up to be, but setups don't always equal performance.
That's true.
And it also downtrended twice since then, so...
I think Freddy ended his chase altogether.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think he's like, this is crap. You know who I'm talking about, Mr. Twister. Bro, that is a freaking wild beef, bro. I don't even think it's settled. Setups don't always equal performance. Quote to remember. Alrighty, chat. Well, I mean, I don't see a reason to stay on here. Technically, we still have a destructive in effect for Plano and McKinney, but I really doubt that that's producing damaging winds up to 80 if we're being real here. So,
Even tornado warning.
oh,
I've
yes, sir.
re-entered it for Boneham, Honey Grove, Dodge City, Wyndham,
Hold on, can you
Ravenna,
say
and
that name
Ector,
again?
Texas.
Can you say that name again?
Bonham.
Bonham.
Bonham. I need to work on this. Man.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna end off here though, chat. Again, we were planning to be on live for much longer, but we also planned based on the event performing, and that just didn't happen. We still did 2 hours of coverage total between the lagginess, the leglessness stream, and this stream. But I mean, I just don't see a reason to stay on here. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. I also want to say thank you guys so much for how well yesterday's forecast performed. It is such a shame that it ended up being so freaking inaccurate. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Redirect.
Are you gonna stay alive?
Yeah.
How long?
I'm not sure.
Today's radar update calls for.
You're still alive, by the way.
What? Oh, I am.
You send a redirect.
Well, I can't now because I already said to